we'll go through to the first point, which is welcoming the guests here today. We've got an MP, we've got an MSP, we've got an MPE holder, and we've got everyone else here today. Because I know that when we woke up this morning and we saw the weather, we were like, oh my God, we're going for an official lunch today. But as you can see, the sun is shining now, it's not drizzling. So give yourself once again a round of applause. My name is Edward. I always like supporting events like this. I remember the first time I was made aware of what FACEYOUth was all about. That was at the Hilton Hotel a couple of years ago. They were organizing an event and it was well attended. And since then I've decided to be part and parcel of the journey, the FACEYOUth journey. So it's no surprise that I'm here today. So I guess I have to thank myself for being here as well too. But you all need to encourage me today by giving me a round of applause, please. So, we've officially opened the event, but before we start proper, there will be an opening prayer. But before we do that, if anyone wants to use the facilities, it's just straight through this door. You'll see some of the associates by the end of the door there. They'll just take us through. In terms of the health and safety, there's no fire alarm planned for today. So in the event of a fire, or if the alarm goes off, we'll just follow that exit straight to the assembly point in front of the building. Now, the opening prayer is going to be led by Father James Anyegu. For those who don't know, he's a TikTok sensation. He's been interviewed from the BBC to various other mediums. And I'm glad to say he's a relation of mine as well. So I guess it's a family affair today, but it all shows how much we hold Ife in high regard. She's a sister, she supports everybody, and I think it's suffice to say that today will just be the beginning of good things. So, Father James Anyegu, the TikTok guru, please come. The opening prayer is yours, and I hope that you're going to give us one of your TikTok tunes today. So please, a round of applause for the one and only Father James Anyegu.
May we stand for the opening prayer. Sorry, I don't wish to keep you standing, but just before I start the opening prayer, I would like to say thank you to my cousin. Ife is my first cousin, who the instrumentality behind my being here actually. So I came over on a mission to Scotland because of her. She hosted me during my holiday times before I was accepted as a missionary here. I used to come on holidays and she hosted me one of those days. And because of that, we had the opportunity of meeting the bishop, and it just happened that he wants me here, and that's why we're here. So I would like to say thank you to my cousin, to Ife. She is very active, not just within the society, she's also very active in the church. She loves God and does everything to please God. And I know FACEYOUth is out to please God. And that's why we are starting with an opening prayer. Don't mind, we are not going to do TikTok during prayers. So TikTok is meant for TikTok. Prayer is prayer. So in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, we give you thanks, Almighty God, for the grace and the gift of Faith Youth, for the grace and the gift of Ife, for the grace and the gift of all who have been supporting Faith Youth, for the grace and the gift of every one of us here. We give you thanks for the grace and the gift of this particular house. Through here, the world will continue to experience Christ's charitable love. So we pray that this would be the beginning of more great things to come, that this will be the start of more beautiful things to come. And I pray that each and every one of us here will go home today bearing the love and the light of Christ in our lives. I also pray that all that shall be done here today will go peacefully and be crowned by God's grace through Christ our Lord. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the communion of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forever. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
I was gutted that I thought I would see one of those famous TikTok things, but never mind. I guess we'll share the social media handles later on so that everyone can see what I see and what everyone else sees. So, we're all here for one purpose today, and that's to support Faith Youth, apart from the official opening of Faith Youth as well. And that leads me to the next point, which is the opening speech by our founder. But before our founder comes to the floor, there's something, I like energy. I like positive energy around me, and I can see positive energy here today, which is a good thing. So I'm going to spell Faith Youth. Okay, I will call out a letter. All I want from everyone here today is call out the associated letter that follows it. We're spelling it, okay? So please humor me. So, F. I can't even hear you guys. Come on. F. C. Did somebody say C? This is how we catch people out, right? Just say the following associated letter. All right? C. Good. Y. U. H. Good. That was a tricky one. Give yourself a round of applause there.
Thank you for the warm welcome. Thank you everybody for coming. Really appreciate it. Okay, so how's the Kirsty Blackman, Maggie Chapman, MSP, Kirsty's MP, Member of the Parliament, Dr. Deze Ifezilike, MBE, my dearest cousin, Father James, and all our guests, welcome. My name is Ife Anyebu, as you all already know, and it's my privilege and great pleasure on behalf of Faith Youth to welcome you all here today. We're delighted to have you with us to participate and share in this special occasion, the official opening of the Faith Youth Multipurpose Center for Excellence in Aberdeen. Thank you for coming. That many of you have willingly traveled long distances and braved this weather to be here serves as a reminder to us just how important our work at Faith Youth is. I still remember when I landed in Aberdeen 11 years ago and was sent for offshore survival training in -4 degrees cold. And I landed from Lagos, which was 32 degrees the day I left Lagos. I told my manager that these people must be out of their minds to be getting into this cold pool in this weather, that I'm heading back to Nigeria. I was repeatedly assured that the pool was warm before I entered. Trust me, it wasn't that easy. It took like 5 people to convince me that the pool was warm. I first stepped in with my feet, and then just to make sure that it was actually warm. because I was freezing. And if you remember me those days, I used to dress like what our people call us Sophia. So I wear layers of clothing. I didn't know about thermal wear, although I researched. So I got my jacket and everything before I landed. So the reason why I'm saying this is that we greatly appreciate our students who are here, who braved the weather as well to come out to support us. Welcome, especially those that came this January. FACEYOUth is committed to improving the lives of youth and children using the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals as a framework for action. We want all children and youth, regardless of race, creed, or circumstances, to achieve their full potential. Our task is to make it possible. Our mission is to provide practical step-by-step assistance. Thanks to the 1948 United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, we are aware of the rights in many spheres, including education. The goal is as pertinent today as it was then. It's a goal I know we all share, the full development of every child. For over 5 years, FACEYOUth has been supporting individuals and families and communities through our various projects, from awarding full scholarship to indigent students to hosting sessions on mental health awareness and well-being, with the aim to relieve disadvantage of any sort and give people the opportunity to lead fulfilling lives. As we all know, this week is also Children's Mental Health Week, which was why we chose this day for the opening of our center, to also celebrate this year's Children Mental Health Week. This year, the theme is Growing Together. We're encouraging children and young adults to consider how they have grown and how they can help others grow. We're honored to have Kirsty Blackman, Member of the Parliament, and Maggie Chapman, Member of the Scottish Parliament, with us today. All two have interest in promoting the well-being of young children and adults. Kirsty was recently appointed as the SNP spokesperson for well-being at Westminster. Congratulations. Dr. Deze Ifezulike, MBE, will give us presentation on mental health and stigma. Dr. Deze is a family physician who is passionate about healthy lifestyles, weight management, optimizing sexual health and well-being, particularly among women and youth. Her hard work needs no introduction. The results speak for themselves. Dr. Deze has been made an NBE recently as well for her services to health inequalities among minority and ethnic communities. Prepare yourselves to be challenged, my dear lovely people, excited and inspired by her presentation. And before I hand over to our lovely MC, Edward Obi, we will outline the various events for the day. And I want to say once more, on behalf of the FACEYOUth Organizing Committee, a warm welcome. It's wonderful to see so many of you here. And please watch a short video about the milestone FACEYOUth has achieved so far. Thank you. The Foundation for Advancement of Child Education and Youth Empowerment, FACEYOUth, is a grassroots-inspired charitable organization with vested interest in alleviating poverty, promotion and support of quality education for the disadvantaged child, as well as promotion and provision of vocational and skills acquisition programs for the empowerment of youth. We believe that education and youth empowerment are potentially significant in contributing to the growth of every community. And it is this belief that inspired us to start a FACEYOUth to bridge the gap in educational opportunities between school children in rural communities and more developed communities by sponsoring as many underprivileged students as possible. by increasing youth representation and involvement in the decision-making process, by promoting and developing entrepreneurial spirit among youth, because we believe that entrepreneurship is one of the pathways to ending poverty, by disseminating relevant information about issues concerning youth written by youth. 3,500 families are beneficiaries of our Street Food Bank initiative, Mission Love. 250 children are beneficiaries of FACEYOUTH scholarship scheme in Nigeria and Malawi, and over 500 children have benefited from the Back to School project between 2017 till date, where educational materials were distributed to 5 different schools in Nigeria. FACEYOUTH have also renovated and established 2 library projects at public/government primary schools in eastern Nigeria. Over 80 young entrepreneurs have been given seed funding to support their business from 2018 till date. Entrepreneurship and mentorship seminars are being organized by FACEYOUTH to empower young people, both physical in Enugu and virtual via Zoom. We believe that mental health needs unashamed conversation. Stigma and lack of understanding are 2 barriers that keep people, especially those from Africa and other ethnic minority communities, from seeking help regarding their mental health issues. It is in light of this that we launched the monthly Mental Health Awareness and Stigma Reduction Initiative for young people to tackle mental health issues in young people, especially from its onset. Our big project right now is the Eastern Food Bank, which was born out of our seasonal Mission Love initiative, because we believe hunger is not seasonal. And another big project is our radio school project to take quality education to remote places with radio network in Africa. Like every charity, our greatest need is financial. If you would like to support us, please, all we ask is for you to make a commitment of 1,000 naira monthly or $2 monthly. We understand that the economy is not stable at the moment. We all need a little extra support. But we believe that these little amounts can help us give children in rural communities quality education they deserve and also help alleviate poverty. We promise to keep you up to date on our activities and how we are spending whatever donations or grants we get. If you can spare anything at all, it will be greatly appreciated. If you also like to partner with us or know somebody that would like to collaborate or partner with us, please initiate the introduction. You can contact us via our email info@faceyouth.org or go to our website www.faceyouth.org/get-involved. Thank you.
I just want to say a few words about the special guest of honor, Christy Blackman, who's an MP. So as mentioned to you, Christy, previously, I got these details from Wikipedia, so just in case it's not as accurate as it should be, bear with me. Did I hear a TikTok sensation there? Okay. It's always good to be an MC, you know. You've got a prerogative to do anything. And anything you do on the day, you know, you can be pardoned fully. So, Christy, in advance, please pardon me just in case it's not as accurate as it should be. Now, for those who don't know Christy Blackman, she's an MP. She first entered politics in 2007, and she was elected as an SNP councillor in Aberdeen City. Now, this is one of the most interesting parts. She topped the poll in her ward with 1,761 first preferences. Give her a round of applause, please. She was then re-elected in 2012 with 823 first preferences, taking the second seat in the ward. Is that as accurate as can be? Okay, great. Another round of applause, please. After which she became the convener of the SMP group. Now that's just the beginning. Now, as we know now, fast forward to 2022, Christy Blackman is serving as a Member of Parliament for Aberdeen North, and she's been in that seat since 2015. She was re-elected in 2017, and again in 2019. Was the SNP Westminster spokesperson for the economy from 2007 to 2019, and the SNP Deputy Westminster Leader from 2007 to 2020. Is that accurate? Great. Whew! I thought for 1 second that I would have got something wrong, but I gave advance notice that it was from Wikipedia anyway. So I think a few words about Christy Blackman. She's always been a supporter of everything. I'm speaking about my community now. Anything that the community has done, Christy will always be present, irrespective of her schedule. And you know, for you to really know what Christy is all about, all you need to do is take a look at the Prime Minister questions. Then you'll see how vibrant. And, you know, personally, I wouldn't want to be a PM answering Christy Blackman's questions. There was something that happened a few years ago, and I think to the best of my knowledge, I stand corrected, Christy, but just in case. It was during the situation that was happening in Nigeria with, you know, the Southeast issues that have been lingering on. I think that was during the premiership of Theresa May. Christy Blackman spoke about it and encouraged in her own way for the Prime Minister to really take a second look into how they play this, which is, you're the Prime Minister of Britain, you have a direct call to the Nigerian government, so do what needs to be done. And you know, ever since then, you know, I've been paying a close watch of what Christy does, because definitely she could have gone there and not said anything. But it's on record that she spoke on our behalf. And I remember quite well the response that was given on the House on that day. So please, give Christy Blackman another round of applause for that.
That was some introduction. I'm not sure I can live up to it. What I'm going to be doing after this is making sure I get some TikTok tips. Because I do have a TikTok, but I wouldn't say it's sensational given I've got about 10 followers. So I'm going to have to pull my socks up, improve that. And you're absolutely right. I come along to an awful lot of the events, and it's not just because of the food, I promise. It's really not. I wanted to say a few things on actually the theme of growing together and on togetherness. We've really not had any opportunity, or much opportunity in the last 2 years, to be together. We've not had those chances to come and spend time together and to support each other together. COVID has taken that away from us over the last 2 years, which means that when we do come together just now, it feels all the more special. It feels all the more nice to see people that we haven't seen in years, to get in touch with people that we've missed. And I think when we're thinking about young people and we're thinking about the future for young people, we need to ensure that we are working together to make the best future for young people. We need to make sure that Face Youth are supported, that all of us as a community, as an Aberdeen community, as a Nigerian community in Aberdeen, are working together to ensure the best future for our kids. Now, we know that our children will have to put up with whatever decisions politicians make for far longer than we will have to put up with them. And we know that we can only take those decisions if we're hearing the voices from across Aberdeen, from across Scotland, in order to make those decisions. And you know, the fact that I talked about the situation in Nigeria, I talked about the situation in Nigeria in Parliament because somebody came to me and raised that with me. Politicians can only lift the voices of the people in our communities if we know what those voices are saying. If we are in touch, if we are speaking to you, if you are speaking to us and we are listening. And I think that's the most important thing that a politician can do, is to amplify the voices of the people that live where they are. So today I would like to amplify Aoife's voice and amplify the voice of what's happening with Face Youth, and hopefully amplify the voice of what's happening in relation to the talk on mental health, even though I haven't heard it yet. I've been super open about how terrible my mental health has been during the course of the last couple of years. Like so many people, I've really struggled, I've found it very hard. And it's very difficult, even nowadays, to stand on a stage and say that. It is not an easy thing to do, but the more that we can talk about mental health, the more that we can put it on a level playing field with physical health, the more that we can teach our children and young people that the best way to be healthy, the best way to be mentally healthy is to talk, is to have those conversations, is to make sure that you're allowed to have your feelings and that you're talking about those feelings. Do you know what? It's really okay to be pretty angry about some of the things that have happened. It's really, that is completely and totally understandable. But we need to give young people particularly an outlet to make sure that they're able to say these things. So I want to say thank you very much for inviting me to come along to this event today, and for all of the invitations I've had to all of the events, because it is an absolute honour to be here. I'm the MP for Aberdeen North, and as has been said, I've been the MP since 2015. And one of the best things that I do, that I love best in my job, is getting the chance to come, to speak to people, to listen to people, and to find out what I can do to make a difference for people who live in Aberdeen and in Scotland. So, Edward, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the introduction. I hope I didn't disappoint. Thank you, everyone.
Another round of applause, please. Thank you very much, Christy, and I think we'll look out for your TikTok channel so that we can see how engaging it is. And you know, Father Nyebu is here to give all of us tips, so that's fine. Thank you, thank you. So that was a lovely speech, wasn't it? Yeah, another resounding round of applause. But you know, Christy, you're not yet done, because we're going to officially cut the ribbon of the premises. So everybody, we're going to leave this building now and go to the front of the building. And we've got the scissors and everything, right? Yeah? Can we go now? All right, everyone, let's head towards the front. Let's do... Okay, everyone. We're trying as much as we can to follow the agenda, so let's just take our seats. Okay. So how did we find the cutting of the ribbon by Christy Blackman? Did we find it fulfilling?
Yes, I did.
So nobody's saying anything. Okay, I'll repeat it again. Did we find the cutting of the ribbon fulfilling? Just say yay or nay. Exactly, we can do better than that. Come on. Give Christy Blackman a resounding round of applause for performing that. Thank you. We know how busy our representatives are. So when our representatives take out time to come and honor us, we should honor them back. So, we have another special guest today. Another wonderful special guest. And I was having a chat with Maggie Chapman prior to the event starting. And did you guys know she was from, or she is from Zimbabwe? Do you know that? Do you guys know who Maggie Chapman is? Maggie, can you just stand up for a second? All right. Only in Scotland. We're talking about, when you see someone like Maggie from Zimbabwe become a member of the Scottish Parliament, it gives everyone hope that we can all aspire to be what we want to be. Now Maggie, I got this from Wikipedia though. So just in case, it's not updated as much as it can be, so please, you know what you need to do. Now, Maggie Chapman is a Zimbabwe, Rhodesian-born Scottish politician and lecturer who is a Scottish Green member of the Scottish Parliament for North East Scotland. Please give her a round of applause. She's been a member of the Scottish Parliament since 2021, recently. So, Zimbabwe, Scotland, Nigeria, Scotland. You guys know what I'm getting at, right? Okay. I think it's high time soon we'll see a Nigerian member of the Scottish Parliament for an MP. And I know that all political parties are welcoming that idea, because as we all know, we've heard about inclusiveness in the workplace and various other places, and now it's time, gradually, for that to take effect. So I'm sure Maggie has her own story to tell.
Thank you very much, Edward, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for inviting me to join you on this very, very special day today. It's a huge honour and a privilege to be here at such an important moment for Face Youth Centre. As Edward said, I was born and brought up in Zimbabwe, so it's nice to be around so many fellow Africans again. Even in the middle of a Scottish winter, your warmth and hospitality is great to be sharing with. So thank you for that. like to begin by paying huge tribute to Ife for all the work that you've done to bring us to where Face Youth is today. Thank you and well done. And also a huge thank you to all those supporters, volunteers and workers who've contributed and allowed us to be here today to open the centre and send Face Youth on its next steps. You all are really, really important in supporting young people, in supporting our future, the future of Aberdeen, the future of our world. And the focus on education, the focus on tackling poverty, I think has been really, really crucial, especially in a time of pandemic, especially in a time where community has been so important for all of us, where we have been isolated, where we've been kept apart for so long. Coming together in the centre and in this organisation will have been so important for so many people. It's also a huge honour to be able to share with you in the beginning of the next chapter of this organisation, of supporting people to be the best that they can be. In youth work, in outreach, in grassroots community development, because that is how we are going to challenge and tackle some of the biggest issues that we face, not only here in Aberdeen, but much further afield as well. We don't need to look very far away to see the damage that discrimination, poverty, inequality does on so many different levels to individuals and to communities as a whole. So the vision of Face Youth is so important at such a critical time. We know we see financial pressures here. We know we see financial pressures in Africa and elsewhere. And the increasing economic stresses making life so difficult for so many people. At these times, that is when community is so important. And Ife, your grassroots commitment to building community from our young people up, that is really what will change the world. Grassroots solidarity is vital for our future as we build and create and hope to sustain a better world for all of our young people. And it was so lovely to have that walk through the centre just now, and I'd wondered where all the children were, and it was so lovely to see them next door eating and playing together. So as I say, I'm originally from Zimbabwe. I moved to Scotland 24 years ago, but I've still got family there. My mum still lives in Harare, and I know that she would love to know about today. So when I speak to her, probably tomorrow, I will tell her about all of you, and I hope I can send her your greetings. I know if she were here today, she would be sending her greetings to all of you. And I'd just like to end by saying thank you again, good luck to you all, and all power to the community, to the grassroots activism, and to solidarity, and to the work of Face Youth. Well done, and good luck for the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that warm address. We really, really appreciate it. Now, before I go on to our MBE holder, you all do know we have an MBE holder in our list, right? Do we know what that means? I'm sure you will soon enough. But before we start, we've got, as we all know, Ife is from the Igbo ethnic group in Nigeria. And we've got the chairperson of the group who just arrived now. He will just wave. So, Engineer Principal Anyika, can you please stand up and just wave to everyone? We're acknowledging your presence here today. Thank you very much. So now, Dr. Adeze Ifezulike, I've just got a few words for you today. A few. I will let you deliver the rest. Now, Dr. Ada Ifezulike is a family's physician stroke GP, who is passionate about healthy lifestyles, weight management, optimizing sexual health and well-being. In December 2021, Dr. Ada was made an MBE for her services to health inequalities amongst minority ethnic communities. Now, an MBE is something that is that the Queen, when the Queen recognizes certain individuals for their service to humanity, then you're on a roll, you're made a mention, and you're given that title.
Wow, thank you everyone. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I can't even explain it. Ify, you're just a star, honestly. You know, let's just clap for her. Let's just acknowledge this amazing lady. Life is so busy. People are busy with their lives. So for you to make out time to look after other people, to run a charity, I think that's fantastic. In fact, you deserve the next MBE. What do we think? We have to nominate you for an MBE. You're doing well. We appreciate you. Yeah, so welcome. My greetings to the MPs. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm just going to do, I know we're all hungry. I don't know about you, but I want to eat. So I'm going to keep it really brief. And I just thought it was really important to talk about mental health. When she sent the topic, I thought, well, that's great, because this is a special week for mental health. So that's my name. Before I go further, I've written some books, and I've got a few copies here. And there's one on contraception for Black women. So if you want to pick a call, it's just a fun way of explaining contraception with cartoons and so on. So my daughter is over there. She has some copies, and if you want me to sign as MBE, feel free to go and meet her. It's usually about £10, but you can take it for £5 today. And I've got one I'm written for doctors who want to practice in the UK. People keep asking me, how do I come here and practice? So I'll put it all in a book as a guide for other doctors, okay? And health professionals coming to the UK to practice. Again, £10 on Amazon, for £5 today with the MBE signature as well. So make sure to pick your copy before the day is over. Okay, so mental health and stigma. This week we've already mentioned that this is all about the children's mental health. So I thought instead of talking generally about mental health, let me narrow it down to children. Let's really look at that, because we do have a major problem on our hands. And it's estimated that it's going to get worse because of the COVID. In fact, no one can really tell what COVID has really done in terms of mental health. It will unfold, with time. We're seeing the tip of the iceberg. So 1 in 6 of our children have a mental health disorder. 1 in 6, think about that. And a lot of children are not diagnosed yet, may not be on treatment, may be suffering in silence. The parent, you as a parent, you know something is not right, but you don't know what it is, you don't know who to go to. We have 1 in 6 children having a mental disorder between the ages of 6 and 19. And we want to see if we can begin to make changes to that. No child should have to suffer, with undiagnosed illness that may be treatable. No parent should have to feel inferior because they have a child with mental health. We want parents to feel supported. We want parents to know there's help out there and how to access it. So, the disorders can be in various forms. It can be due to eating disorders. Some children eat too little, others eat too much. Either way, it's just not right. We want to get the balance right. Some have terrible problems with sleeping, poor sleep, sleeping too much or too little, and in such a way that they can't perform. It's affecting their performance. Some go into substance misuse, alcohol, cigarettes, And do you know, I don't know if you've noticed, the way they package the cigarettes now, or the vapes or whatever you're using, they're so colorful. They're actually directed to the young people. When you see the pack, it's a different, you can choose any color you like, and it's attractive to the young people. A lot of our young people are going into substance misuse. There are issues with loneliness. Children are lonely. Isn't that sad? That in a family with adults and other children, a child may actually be suffering from loneliness, not able to talk to anyone. Issues with school absences. A mom said to me that her daughter hasn't been to school for 2 years. I said, what, 2 years? All of us know that we're probably here because we're educated. The only reason I'm standing here is because I had an education. So in a period when a child misses 2 years of schooling, what will become of that child? It's like we're going backwards. And the child is not going to school because they suffer from anxiety. They're worried about what people are saying about them, or they're being bullied, or one thing or the other. No child should have to go through that. Every child deserves to go to school happily, get an education, and make something of their lives. So there are issues around social media, big one. Coronavirus restriction, even adults suffered a lot from the restrictions. How much more the children? Issues with those with special education needs. There were issues with accessing help during the coronavirus. A lot of these children, they need to be seen face to face, but we had to revert to telephone calls, and videos and so on. So, it's really caused a lot of issues. But the one I want to focus on today, the one I think we can do something about, is the family functioning issues. A lot of these issues are tied to dysfunction in families. And perhaps that's where we can begin to make a change to help the mental health of our children. So, slides. Okay, I saw this quote and I thought I would just read it. It's from Lifespan. It says that children with psychiatric disorders are often isolated. These children just don't feel part of society. They're isolated, they are forced out of groups, of classrooms and jobs. Even as adults, they can't get work. They feel out of place. This can lead to self-stigma. So this is a child now feeling I'm different, I'm not wanted, something is wrong with me. Self-stigma, when an individual internalizes the societal beliefs and prejudices, resulting in lower self-esteem, limited aspirations. The child can't aspire to be somebody great. See how we're talking about MPs here. We need to be able to get our children to the point where they say, I too can be an MP. That's what we're talking about. But you can't get to that point if you have a mental illness or you feel something is not right with you. How are you going to aspire to become an MP? You see, so we have that issue. There's secrecy among the children themselves, among the families. A lot of the African families don't want to say that there's a problem with my child, help me. They're keeping it all secret. There's anxiety and treatment avoidance, Even when there's treatment available, people don't take it up because they don't want to be seen attending maybe a mental health, area, department or something like that. So, I thought I'll share a few lessons from my father. My father of beloved memory. Everybody that knows me knows I and my father were like this. My father passed away in 2 years, actually, 2 years this February. Wow, time has flown, it's already 2 years. And I want to make a case for intentional parenting because that's what my dad did for us. My father had 8 children, and my father sold us the story that we were special. He made us believe we were the best children in the world. He made us believe we could be anything. Why am I saying that? A child's mind is like a virgin land. They will take up what you tell them. So we took that from my dad. We just believed we were the best because he told us. He was intentional about building us up, about esteeming us, making us feel that we could do anything. Can we start doing that as parents? Helping our children? Because let me tell you, out there, children are bruised and battered. They go to school, they are not able to meet up, especially when you're black. I'm black, so I can say it. You can't accuse me of being racist. We know there are challenges with children, in schools. So how much more when they now come back home? You as a parent, you're still bombarding them. So where is their safe place? If they get bombarded at school and they come home and you hit them again, where is the safe place for these children? So let's take some lessons from my dad. And I remember this incident clearly because I was about 6 years. And just to remind us that children remember things. Don't ever feel that your child will not remember because they are small. They remember. I was 6 when this incident happened. And my younger sister, I'm the first of the 8 children. So after me is a boy and then a girl. So the girl after me, she's, let's say I was 6 and maybe she was 2 or 2.5, something like that. And we were both playing, just little children playing. And this woman came to our house, a visitor. She came in, she was welcomed, she greeted my dad, and then she turned to the children, and let me say what she said. Let me say it in my native language, Igbo, then I'll translate it, okay? So this lady looks at us and she says, concerning my sister, she says, hey, those who are Igbo, you understand? You know what she said was, this one is so beautiful. She's more beautiful than her sister. This is what she said to us. And my father just jumped up. Bless his heart. There's no way he can talk down his kids in front of him. My father just jumped up and said, you don't say that to children. There's something wrong with your head. This is what he said to the woman. He just told her off immediately. He said, you don't compare children. There's something wrong with your head. The woman was so startled, and my father is this big guy, so the woman, she didn't even stay up to 10 minutes. She left with her tail between her legs. She was well rebuked. But you see, I can remember that incident and laugh about it because of the way my father responded. Because that singular statement could have had the impact of affecting me mentally my whole life. You understand? All I would have remembered is, this man said my sister is prettier than, and she is. Anybody that knows my sister knows she's a beauty. She's very beautiful, But my father made sure that what I remember from that event was him scolding the woman and telling her off. You understand? Don't compare your children. Don't say this one is how your sister did, let's see our children as individuals. Each one is special in their own right. And let's support them as they are. My father did that for us. No comparison, he loved us all. 8 children. Imagine distributing your love amongst 8 children. And I stand today to speak about him because what he did meant that we all, in our various fields, will become experts at what we do. My siblings are all over the world and they're doing well. And for each of them, they felt my father loved them the most. He was able to impart that love to each child. And if you're here, you didn't have such a father, please don't feel bad. That's why you're hearing this. You can do things differently for your children. You can make a difference now. Okay, so let's go to the next lesson. So, as a child growing up, I was doing well in school, passing my exams, and in fact, medical school was a breeze for me. I just passed all my exams, and then I got to a professional exam. I took this exam and I failed it. That was the first time I was failing anything in my life, and I cried so bitterly. And I remember going to my dad and I failed this exam. My father just started laughing. He laughed and laughed. I'm like, I'm really upset here. They failed me. Did you not hear what? And he was like, so because you've been passing, you don't know people fail, eh? He was like, look, failure is nothing. He minimized it. He said, don't worry. You just go again and you will smash it. That's what he told me. He always minimized our failures. He made us feel that, that's nothing. Just go again. Go and give it to them. He made us feel that any failure, it was just something to learn from. Why did you fail? Okay, let's see. Maybe you need more on mathematics, you get a maths teacher, or maybe, okay, let's look at, let's look at the solution, but don't even dwell on it at all. We minimize our failures. As a parent, do you focus on your child's failures? Do you keep pointing out, you failed this, or do you let them understand that it's nothing, it's just one of those things, just let's go again. Let's give them the courage to try again, so that they can come home and tell you they failed. We don't want our children hiding away. I remember a lady saying that all this while she thought her child was in university, not knowing the child had failed out of university. He couldn't come back to tell her. We need that open channel for our kids to come back and tell us, oh, I failed, and we have to say to them, it's okay, don't worry. It's just a blip in your journey, don't worry about it. My father did that for us. Okay, so he was lavish with praise. Even as a little girl, I remember if I came back from primary school, I had passed something, my father would take it, he would be dancing. He would sing with my name. He had songs with our names. He would sing and dance. Little things, maybe you made a drawing, and you just make it look like, it was something great. Let's be lavish with praise. Within our communities, we often feel that if you praise someone, if you praise a child too much, they'll misbehave. No, it's the other way around. And let's be intentional about our children hearing us praise them. My father will make sure we can hear that he's praising us to strangers. We were his topic. If you come to our house, my father will stage you for an hour talking about his kids. He made sure we knew he was proud of us. He talked about us. And that gave us the courage to attempt life. A lot of children are struggling with life. We need to empower them and let them know you can succeed, you can make it. Okay, let's be lavish with praise. Let's encourage their creativity. My father did that with us. I'm the only doctor in my house. My father didn't say, all of you have to read medicine. In fact, nobody told me to read medicine. From a child, I wanted to be a doctor. This person, he said, what do you want? What can you do? Okay, what can you do? Because when you allow a child to do things within their strength, the things that are easy for them, they will excel in it. As a community, let's stop telling our children you have to be a doctor, you have to be an engineer, let's stop those things what's in the past. Not anymore. Now, these children of now, they want to do things that come naturally to them. There are children who love to, whether it's sing or dance or draw, encourage them in the area of their strength, because that means it will be easy for them to do and they will excel in it. Okay? Encourage their creativity. Let them loose. Let them do what feels easy for them to do. Let's stop giving them difficult. There are some children, they just want to finish that medicine. My father wants me to read medicine. When I finish, I'll give him the certificate, then I'll disappear and go and do what I really want to do. That's wasted years. Whereas right from the start, you could have let them do what comes naturally to them. That will help their mental health. Because when a child is succeeding, they'll be happy. We want our children to be happy, isn't it? So let's see what they're good at and allow them to do it. Okay? So that's my dad and my mom. So that's me and my brother. And that's us when, this is about maybe 4 years ago, we're older than them. So we thought we were going to be just 2 children. And then another 6 came along. Anyway, so I and my brother, there's just about 11 months between us. And we fought a lot as children. This sibling fight. Oh my goodness, I fought so much with my brother. We never agreed on anything. And then one day we were fighting, as usual. It got so bad. So my sister went and called my dad on phone. We had a landline because of my dad's job, so dad had shown us how to use the landline. Of course, then there were no mobile phones, So she managed to call him. So daddy came back and met us fighting. So he called 2 of us to his room. And we came to his room, and you would have thought he would beat us or something, He sat us down and he started crying. Daddy cried. He shed tears. He said, "You're my children. I love you so much. Why do you want to destroy each other?" Oh my goodness, seeing my dad cry broke my heart. It literally broke my heart, broke my brother's heart. And right then, because Daddy connected to us emotionally, the typical African parents would have given each of us 20 lashes of, you know what I mean, would have given you the beating of your life for fighting enough for them to call him from work. You're in big trouble. But Daddy cried. I just sat there looking at him. Me and my brother were so like, you know. But again, now I look back, I realized a lot of what my dad did were intentional. You know, he sort of knew that would have a better impact than beating us. You understand? So he did that for us. He connected with us emotionally. Let's connect with our children on a more emotional level. Let's be vulnerable to them. I often share things with my kids. Oh, when I was your age, do you know I did this? Do you know? Let them see that you're not a superstar. So you're so perfect that they can never come to you. Share the issues you had at their age. They can learn from it. And it also means they can come to you. You know, you're leaving that channel open for them to connect with you. So discipline with balance was another thing Daddy did. It wasn't a pushover, or, you know, he loved us so much, but he was also very focused on discipline. But I only remember one incident when he actually flogged me. I was thinking about it the other day. Just once in my whole life. And I must have done something that was really, really bad. And all I remember is that he took a stick and on my hand, it was like three came like that. And I screamed down the whole house like they had killed me, you know. But the point I'm making is that he wasn't into physical, that beating, not at all. And if he sees you, a stranger, beating your child or knocking their head, he will, you know, because he was a huge guy, he will just be like, do you want to spoil their brain? What's wrong with you? Why are you beating that child on their head? You dare not beat a child on their head. If my daddy, if he catches you, you know, he'll say, if you want to discipline a child, you have to cool down, calm down, don't be angry. Because if you hit them in anger, you can damage that child. So make sure you're calm, find a way of talking to the child. So discipline with love. Okay, so how can we improve our children's mental health? I hope we've already picked some lessons from what I've shared. Questions, decision making. My daughter the last one is 14, and I drop her in school every morning, you know, when I'm going to work. My workplace is near her school. And we are always late. It's always like, can you start coming? I need to, you know, always difficult to actually get her into the car for us to go. And I said to her one day, how are we going to make sure I get to work on time? I had a discussion. I said, what time should we leave? And we finally agreed, okay, we'll leave at this time. So she now works towards that time. But if I hadn't had that discussion, we would both be breaking our heads over, come, let us go, come, we are ready, we are not ready. But now, because we have set a time, 20 minutes before the time, I'm passing her room, I'm like, we have 20 minutes more. And after, when it's 10 minutes, I'm like, 10 minutes more. You know, that way she is ready. But that's because there was joint decision making. Let's speak with our kids, find out, ask them the solution. If there's a problem, what do you think we should do? When they join you to make the decision, they will keep to it. Okay? Avoid yelling. Let's not scream at our children. For us, it's almost an African thing. We talk quite loudly. I know I'm talking loudly now. You know, we talk loudly. It's like we forget. But for a child, that can be quite frightening. You know, you can imagine a little child and you're coming at the child screaming. So let's stop yelling. Mind our words. Like I said, I still remember what that woman said many, many years ago. The children don't forget. Some of these words may be harmless. You're calling them your head is like yam. You know, don't say those things. Use words that empower, words that bless our children. Show support, be their greatest cheerleader. You know, my daughter will post things to me. She may not be covered the way I would like her to be covered, but she's wanting me to praise her. I'm going to mix the praise as well as tell her, cover up a bit more. You understand? because she is so important to her that I support her. So I'm not going to withdraw my support, but I'm still going to make my point clear. Okay? Be their cheerleader, allow them open up to you, take care of you as a parent, take care of your own mental health. If you're very stressed, if you're not coping with life, if you're struggling with life, you're going to transmit it to the children. Okay, so take care of you, get enough rest, eat healthy, exercise, get help, go to your GP, ask for help if you're struggling. Parent groups, I belong to a parent group, we pray every Tuesday. There's no harm in asking God help. We've not been parents before. Nobody came with all the manual to be a parent. So it's okay to ask God for help. I do that all the time. There are things that happen, I'm like, God, have mercy. Even if I have to wake up and do night vigil. It's asking for help because everybody needs help with these things. Proper diet, children fed unhealthy food can contribute to problems with their mental health. Obesity is on the increase. If your child is obese as a child, they are very likely to be obese as an adult. So don't start them off the wrong way. If you're pregnant, don't eat too much. Statistics have shown that if you're overweight, if you're obese when you're pregnant, the hormones that control weight management, weight and so on, are already being released into your child. So even right in the womb, you're setting up the child for failure. Manage your weight. It will help your kids also, okay? Make sure there's positive home environment. Don't be uptight, especially our dads. We were taught that to be a dad, you have to be frowning. When you come in, once they say dad is back, everybody's running to go and hide. My father didn't do that. You don't have to have a stern face to parent. Loosen up. Let's be approachable. Smile at your kids. Especially the girl child loves that connection with the father. If your child is wayward as a girl, if you as a father can connect with her, half your problem is solved. A lot of times they're doing the things they're doing because they're rebelling against you. They feel you're not paying them enough and you're always scolding them. Any encounter with their father is scolding. Sometimes just leave the scolding first, connect with them, and that can make a difference. Playtime, holidays, that explains itself. Avoid raising entitled kids. I'm rushing now. So entitled kids are kids who get everything they want. And that's not right, because when they don't get it, it starts affecting their mental health. Don't raise kids that are entitled, that get every single thing they want. Give them a pocket money. My children all get pocket money. If you want something, you take it from your pocket money. If it's not enough, you save till you get it. I'm not going to, I won't work forever and forever. And you can't turn me into a slave. I'm not going to be killing myself so you can buy hair piece of 200 pounds. If you want it, you save for it. Keep to the pocket money as much as you can, but give them enough so they're not having to go and do crazy things to get it. But don't raise entitled kids. They're the ones that often end up with a lot of mental health problems because they don't know how to cope. They're used to getting everything. When they now go out into the wider world, they don't get everything. They start feeling that the world is unfair to them. Okay? So what would you rather have? A well-adjusted child or one who can't wait to get away from you? I think as a community, if what we have been doing isn't working, we have to be open to other ways. We have to be open to other ways. We can't do it the way our fathers did it. Our mothers, when I was small, they would flog me, That it doesn't work with children of nowadays. If you flog them like that, they will have mental health problems. And it will all fall back on you. Let's have a look at the methods we are using and make some changes. So, I think that's it. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this helps somebody.
Okay. Let's go. Big. Oh. Chandelier, chandelier. Listen, I'm the one for a good time call. Phone's blowing up, ringing my doorbell. I feel the love. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. throw 'em out till I lose count. I'm gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. I'm gonna live like tomorrow doesn't exist, like it doesn't exist. I'm gonna fly like the bird through the night, feel my tears cause they're wrong. I'm gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. Holding on, holding on, holding on, holding on for dear life. Keep my glass for tonight. Come on now, let's go. Holding on, holding on, holding on, holding on for tonight. Keep my glass filled until morning light. Listen, sun is up. I'm a mess, got to get her now, gotta run from this. Here comes the shame, here comes the walk of shame. Again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. Throw 'em back till I lose count. I'm gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. Gonna live like tomorrow doesn't exist, like it doesn't exist. Yeah. Gonna fly like the birds of the night, feel my tears as they run. I'm gonna swing from the chandelier. Oh, holding on, holding on, holding on, holding on for tonight. Keep my glass filled until morning light. Yeah.
We live the life that makes you great. Oh yeah, makes your heart beat. We live the life that makes you bleed. We need love to hold up. We need love to make us better. We need the love to hold us together. We need the love to bind us stronger. We need the love to make us better. We need the love. It is one love that must change hourly and weekly. Come together, sharing good things, sharing ideas. We need each other to make life better. Come on, although we are from different backgrounds. Oh, I know you are different, and I know I am different. However, now to make we need the love that makes you great. Come on, we need the love that makes your heart beat. We need the love that makes you bleed. That's love we can share with one another. Oh, that's love, yeah, yeah. That's love, sure, sure. That's love, yeah. Oh, come on, that's love we can share with one another. Oh, yeah, hey.
I just want to thank a few people here. I know everything will do the justice, but I feel I will personally thank Christy. Christy is, I think Christy is now African lady. You're an African now. I think you're an African, you know, because I can count the MPs who answer the calls of our community the way you do. You know, each time we call on you, I don't know if you change your calendar or what in order to fit in our calls, but I really appreciate that. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everything you have been doing for our community. We appreciate that and we acknowledge that. And Dr. Adeze, the only MD in our community, you have to come and see us. So, you know, you have to come especially and see us. We acknowledge you as well. I want to acknowledge Maggie Chapman as well. You are my fellow African, you know. But the only difference is you know, sometimes I can't differentiate you between Scottish and, you know what I mean anyway. So, I think I acknowledge everyone here who supported our sister, and I want to say a massive thank you to everybody, and may God bless your homes now and forever. Amen.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I'd like to thank God who made everything possible. And to my darling husband, I love you so much. Thank you for braving the winter cold to help us clean up the premises, you know, in January single-handedly. I would also like to thank my children for their love and being patient with me, you know, putting up with everything, my late nights and all. I'd like to thank Father Mike, Chinwe and Nkechi, whom I shared this dream with for the first time, and they believed in it and encouraged it with their time, talent and treasure. I love you all.
Okay, so finally, I'd like to thank everyone here. You guys have been fantastic, amazing. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. I particularly like to thank Belma Engineering who made this place possible. Without their people here, right? They made this gathering possible by donating this premises to us rent-free. We're grateful to them. I would also like to thank the Robertson Group. All the chairs and all the tables were also donated by them, used today. I'd like to thank Abri UK. Abri UK also made it possible for us to be able to get this in, because that's what they need. And I'd like to also thank Vodafone who gave us the connectivity free of charge in 6 months. So we're grateful for Vodafone and connectivity. I hope I don't miss anybody because my phone battery has died and I had a list of people to thank. Yeah, so thank you so much, for coming out today. I really appreciate you as always. You are now my soul sister and my political mentor. Thank you, Maggie. I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming out. Thank you, Father James. Thank you, Dr. Daisy. I wish I could call all the names because I know the names of each and every one of you here. But because of time, I won't be able to do that. I love you all. Thank you for your support. Your support means a lot to us. I'd like to thank the organizing committee. Many of them are not here because they're still running around. Even me, Margaret, Kechi. Kechi is one of our trustees as well. She's a lawyer. She flew all the way from London yesterday. She mentioned to me that they're trying to land like 4 times. She started praying because of the wind in Aberdeen, rain gods. So we're really grateful for Kechi. She's been running around. Many people don't know that she's a lawyer, so she's our legal representative. So she made most of the things that happen here. And I'd like to thank my darling sister who also performed. Many of you don't know that she's my sister, Ebru Canary. She's also one of our trustees at FACEYOUth. There are so many of our trustees on Zoom. I don't know if you can show them. I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Chudi Ufondu. Dr. Chudi is a medical practitioner based in the US. So we're global. You know, FACEYOUth is an international organization. And then we have FACEYOUth UK and we have FACEYOUth International. So we're based all over the world. I'd like to thank my co-founder, Ebenezer Williams. He's our IT manager and is the one behind all the Zoom and everything going on. I'd like to acknowledge Williams. She stayed up till 3 a.m. last night with me, just going through the slides that we never presented and all the videos. So it's all good. Williams, I love you. Without you, I don't think there would be any FACEYOUth. He designed the website free of charge. He's been managing all this free of charge. I met Williams when he was, I think 18. So he's now 24. And he's doing his master's in Turkey at the moment. But, I met him when he was just a teenager. I mentored him and nurtured him. And then I had to bring him in as co-founder because he did everything with me when I had the vision to start FACEYOUth. Williams, you're greatly appreciated. We love you. I'd also like to thank in a very special, I hope I don't miss anybody because I need my phone. Really, so if I miss you, I still love you and I appreciate you. Whatever you do for FACEYOUth is greatly appreciated. We love each and every one of you. Christiana, Iwoma, I saw Iwoma here, it's also one of our trustees. We thank you all for everything you've done for FACEYOUth and continue to do for FACEYOUth because they say it takes a village. It really takes a village, to be honest. Yeah, so there are so many people working behind the scenes. You just see me, but I have a team of hardworking and selfless volunteers. People don't know. So FACEYOUth is a volunteer-driven organization. We only have, I think, 2 paid staff, and every other person you see is a volunteer. I'd like to thank our executive assistant, Coletta. I love you. God bless you. Chekube, office assistant. So thank you so much. I love you. I really have to stop so that you can go. Thank you for your patience. Thank you, and I hope you had a wonderful time. We'll have more events. So this is the beginning of many more to come. And I hope that when we extend the invitation, you still come. So sorry for the late start, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you. Dance. Enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Yes, I will have the final word. Because I've met Ife and seen and learned a lot about her organization. But one of the things regarding FACEYOUth is the fact that the topics they've chosen and the categories that they want to actually tackle are quite lofty, so you wonder how a charity of this size will be able to drive this manifesto and agenda. I think, from looking at it, I've had meetings, multiple times with Ife. I now realize that there are some things that can actually make this happen. One of them being leadership, and the other being support. So now, what's a leader? A leader is somebody who would be in a community and see things differently. Some of us do that, but a leader is the one that will actually act upon those things and make it happen. So that's what Ife is doing. She's found this gap and things, and she's really looking to build this up. So from where it is at the moment, you have to see beyond it and actually understand her vision. And what I'll urge and encourage you guys to do is to try and support this. So retrospectively, because they couldn't do this on time. So with what they have, they've asked, if you, they will send a link for donations and contributions as an email up, so you guys will just honor that and then just make your contribution online, and stuff like that. So to round up, I want to thank everybody else who's been here, Maggie, Kirsty, although Kirsty's name has been changed to an African, which is Christy. I was like, what? That's not my MP, but I think the African version of Kirsty, which is Scottish name, is Christy. So I want to agree on that. Yeah, okay, so when I come to your office, Kirsty, I'll be addressing you as Christy. Yeah. So and also a big thank you to Dr. Adeze. What she said was absolutely amazing. Everything in its entirety. And also the fact that when it comes to culture, it doesn't really matter where the culture is coming from, be it African, be it European. The reality is that culture is really just a set of data. So you have to know that when the data is obsolete, you need to change it. So it doesn't matter where you've come from. When the data reads the things have to change, you have to act upon that set of data. So thank you for today. Thank you.